Oh, wait a minute. That's trash. Try this again. I don't like that. Terrible introduction. That's what I said. I said it. Playing all that lame music. It is training camp. That's better. I played all that rainy indoors background music or something, whatever that. Anyway, what's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan, have to coming at you live, direct, and correct with some Mo news. That's right, I said Mo news, M-O news that you can use. And here we are. What's up Wednesday? Give it up. See, I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm excited. Already, we got another excited guy in the house already. Give it up for Mr. Patrick Ryder. He's in the house. What's up, Cowboy Nation? That's right. We are here. What's up, Patrick? Good to have you, brother. And yeah, man, if y'all are not aware and y'all been living up on the rock, or y'all out far in the country somewhere where y'all don't have the internet or TV or anything, yeah, 2024 training camp, Oxnard, California, has begun. Give it up. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell y'all something, man. I'm just letting you know what's going on. But this is what we got going on. We are going live, direct and correct tonight on What's Up Wednesday. So look like I got Larry G in the house. Larry G, you coming on tonight, man? I just let me know. I will bring you on because hey, this is y'all show tonight. This is y'all show. But before I get started, you know what? Larry G, give it up for Larry G because he's in the house. Yeah, old faithful guy. It's good to see him. He's been missing in action. I know when y'all not here, I can tell you when you wasn't here and when you been here. So Larry G is in the house. Give it up. That's right. So before we get started, I got to do the formal introduction like I always do. Now, like I always say, man, I give thanks to everyone, all the subscribers and all the followers that follow us on this channel. Again, like I always say, without you, we would not be where we are today. So give it up for all our subscribers and followers. Yeah. And we got to give it up to, let me take this off. I got to get him off here real quick. Take this guy out. Yeah, there we go. Also, we want to give a big thank you to our social media groups out there. Our social media groups is what the crap is going on here? Oh yeah, big thank you to the Cowboy Huddle Podcast Facebook, Cowboy Fan 365, 520 Boys, Queen of Honor by Cowboys Fan Club Mexico, Cowboy Fan Zone 24/7 Guadalajara, Hard Hitters is in the house, One Star One Fan. We want to give a big shout out to all those that have taken the time to share our content in their social media groups. Give it up. See? Yeah, buddy. All right, so after that, we got to keep moving on, keep it moving, keep it pushing. Let me take that off of there. Also, guys, y'all know I am an entrepreneur. So with that being said, you know I have to tell you about our online store. And we had two more winners, and I'm expecting, who is it? It was Teflon Breed, and it was, oh my gosh, it was Teflon Breed, and somebody help me. Teflon, you know who you are. Anyway, those are our last 2 weeks winners. Teflon Breed, and who else was that? Dang. Oh, my guy. Listen, blame it on the age. Anyway, so here we go. We got the online store, the Cowboy Huddle Podcast apparel. So great for tailgate parties, home games, as well as home game as well as away games. Visit all our apparels at www.cowboyhuddleapparel.com. Give it up. Wait a minute. I'm trying to get this name. It was Teflon Breed, and it was, dang it. Well, that would come with age. Watch this.
Look at the screen, Gary. Lord Nova.
Lord Nova, give it up for Lord Nova. Thank you. Hey, listen, y'all. Y'all get my age. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen. So yeah. So hey, if y'all are watching this video tonight, make sure you there he is, Lord Nova, right there in my face. I gotta do all this stuff because my administrator, she's still working or something. I don't know. So I'm on my own. But yeah, so blame her. Blame her because it's not me. Shoot, I don't have no help right now. But anyway, so yeah, Lord Nova and Teflon Breed, they won the t-shirts on last What's Up Wednesday. So man, let's hear them. So I'm very grateful to have those guys. They know they Cowboy history. So yeah. But anyway, so here we are, guys. Training camp has started. Training camp, the Cowboys have landed in Oxnard, California. And you know what was so odd to see? It was odd watching Zeke get off the bus. Yeah. It was odd seeing Zeke. Your administrator is here. You're just not paying attention. Well, make it happen, Cap. So yeah, man, it was real odd seeing Zeke step out. Man, that joke was smiling like a possum eating cactus. That joke was just I'm just saying, but he was cheesing, and that's something when I say that because the question goes back, why did we even get rid of him? And I said this several times before. I think that was our window of opportunity if we just had a decent running game, and to not have him here to bring him back this year, I just don't get that move. But I'm got some other individuals that are coming on, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to because they want me to kind of ramble until they're able to come on. But I'm going to go ahead and bring up this first topic about Michael Gallup. So I don't know if y'all heard about it. Like I say, unless y'all been living out there in the country with no internet and you still anyway. But yeah, so it's been reported, man. Our guy, I don't know about y'all, but this was my guy. I really liked him. I didn't know who he was when he came to the league, coming from Colorado State. I'm like, Colorado State, who is this? Or was it Colorado? One of them. He came to one of them, and I'm like, third round draft pick, and yeah. So anyway, so says NFL veteran Michael Gallup stunningly retires at age 28. Yes. Let's read what says. Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Michael Gallup stunningly retired from the NFL on Tuesday at the age of 20. Gallup signed a contract with the Raiders in the offseason after 6 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. Give it up. Oh, well, this might be this situation. The Raiders placed him on the reserve retired list. Let me get that one. Gallup did not post an announcement retirement on his social media, but reposted several well wishes from friends and former teammates. Forward Star Telegram Clarence Hill Jr. relayed that Gallup's heart was no longer in it, and it happens. Let's go down there. So he followed a successful 2019 season with 59 catches on 105 targets and 843 yards. His 2021 season was cut short after he suffered an ACL tear, but was able to agree to a 5-year $62.5 million contract before the start of the 2022 season. Give it up for Mike. So, basically, Mike took the money and ran. I'm just saying, he took the money and ran. So, with that being said, do you blame him? And I think now that I read that, I think that's what the case was, is that, these guys put him on the physically unable to play list. So, I'm sure that had a lot to do with, him deciding, well, man, I'm ready. I'm ready to play. What do you mean you're gonna put me on reserve? So that probably had a lot to do with it. But yeah, Michael Gallup has retired, and I'm really shocked that this took place because I really wanted to see what he had in the tank after his injury, because after watching Michael Gallup the time he was here with the Cowboys, I noticed that the guy was a darn good catcher. He ran really well routes, and just I guess the timing wasn't a great timing for him. But well, I can't say that. He got paid $62.5 million. So yeah, the timing was great. So I think Michael Gallup was one that he really didn't buy, all the fancy and lavish stuff. So I could see Michael Gallup taking the money and investing and doing something else. So, but I can say this here too also about the game of football, man. It's really 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 hard on your body. It's really hard on your body to where it's the same repetition each year, trying to eat right, watch your diet, trying to stay in shape, trying to keep the veterans off of you, and trying to keep the rookies with stealing your job. And it just and I said this in the last video, it's more like you only get 1 month off of work, and you working 11 months out of the year. A lot of us don't see that. We only see them on Sunday, and then we even see the 18 weeks now. That's a long time, but it's a lot that goes in it. And it just players get burned down. Some players get burned down, and he was just one of them that was to get burned out. So, Larry G, if you back there, man, I'll bring you on if you want to come on. I see you got your mic muted, but whenever you're ready. I see everybody else still in the green room, but I'm gonna hold it down. So yeah, it's just one of those deals, man, where he has got to the point to where he just is calling it quits. And then, like I said, it is hard on the body. So we definitely here at the Cowboy Huddle podcast would like to congratulate Michael Gallup for his contribution to the organization and his time he have given the fan base. So congratulations to Michael Gallup. Yeah, it happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. It's already 12 minutes out there. I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I want to share this with you guys. If y'all out there, let's check it out. Let me get this stuff going over here. We got a lot going on. But yeah, so the Cowboys have landed. And I have video. Where's my deal? Here we go. Boom. We got a video. Give it up. See? We got a video. So yeah, here we go. This is awesome. This really got me hyped up, y'all, when I saw this. So I want you guys to watch it with me. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Our guys are arriving. There they are. They are here. Look like they're really excited, don't they? There go our new rookie right there. That joker's 6'8". Man, that dude had to duck. Now watch Zeke. What is that? Look at Zeke smiling like a mother. He just glad to give it up for Zeke. He happy to be home. That's another thing, man. It's nothing like. Look, now watch Guyton. Watch him have to duck his head. Jeez. And then that's Tyler Smith right behind him. He think he's 6'5". Look at these dudes. Woo. Look at Zeke still smiling. Boy, I tell you, that joke just happy to be at home. But these the guys. They're pulling up in Oxnard. There goes Jordan Lewis. I couldn't tell you all the names of these individuals, but I tried. I think that's old Josh. That was Josh Butler right there. I got Josh. Give it up for Josh. Yeah, man, that's my dude. I think that's little Pete out of Missouri, the little running back. Oh man, y'all probably know more than I do. But anyway, yeah, that's all our football players, and you got several of them here that's basically trying to make the team. So, and there's the cheering squad. Give it up for the cheering squad. Yeah. I think that's kneeling right there, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, there's a lot of new faces, man. We trying to figure out who's who, but we're definitely going to find out once they get their jersey. Once they get their jersey, we're going to know who's who. But again, this is where it all starts. This is the first day. They'll get settled in today, and I think they'll have dinner and things like that. Then I think they'll have a ceremony, I think by this weekend. And there is your head coach, Mike McCarthy. Give it up for Mike McCarthy. 3 seasons of 12-5. I mean, we got to talk about that. I don't know how y'all feel about, Mike McCarthy. I know it's 29 years that we haven't been to an NFC championship. That's right. 29 years. Some of y'all not even 29 years old, but, there's Terrence Steele. I know that guy. He's been around a while. He just signed a big contract. Yeah, I think it's about there go Dak over there. Y'all see Dak back there in the back? Yeah, it's old Dak. He arrived, but he was without one of his star receivers. So we'll talk about that as well. But this is what we got going on right now, man. And yeah, they're getting off. They're checking their rooms, and then after that, man, it's all about in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. It's competition. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but Gerald McCoy was on one of the talk shows, and the question was asked of him, what was it like playing for the Dallas Cowboys? And one thing he said, man, that wasn't Dak. I don't think that was Dak. But one thing he said, hey, there go my guy. I just had him on. Well, I didn't have him on, but I did a report on him. The rookie. But I can't remember nothing today. I'm serious. I had a long day at work today. I mean, I got to be there at 5 this morning. Anyway, that's not y'all problem. But anyway, that's Sam Williams right there. So Gerald McCoy was asked, what was it like to play for the Cowboys? And he said one thing about the Cowboys. He said that these guys are very, very competitive. He compared the Dallas Cowboys playing with the Dallas Cowboys versus playing with Tampa Bay. He said one thing about the guys in Dallas. He said they are very, very competitive, and it's like you're going half speed. These guys, and we saw that. We saw Trey Diggs and we saw CD go at it. We're used to it. But if you're on the outside of the organization, it's something totally different. But this is what he had to say about playing with the Cowboys. So all right, we got another one on, man. Hey, here we go. Bring him on because he's in the house. And without further ado, it's our guy Chip, Game Sports TV. Give it up. Bring him on. See, what's up, my man?
Salute. You are now rocking with the best, Chip, Game Sports TV. Right back at it again in the middle of the Cowboy huddle with my main man, G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton. How you doing, my brother?
Bro, I am excited. Football is back. Let's give it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy about it.
Yeah, so how you feeling, brother? I know we've been missed. You've been you had some situation. We know you lost power not long ago, man. Is everything okay? It seems like everything's okay. You doing good now?
Well, everything's beautiful. Everything fine. A few short weeks ago, of course, we had that storm come through, knocked out a little lights and everything. But, hey, the lights are on in Oxnard.
And, give it up.
I'm excited to see Zeke looking real lean, see a couple of those other stars come through. Upset CD is in there, but we're going to pay attention to who's there because it's about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, for facts. That is for. So now I was just kind of elaborating a little bit about Michael Gallup, man, and Michael Gallup has just suddenly retired. And I was a fan of Michael Gallup. I didn't know who he was when he came into the league, but after watching him, I became a fan. So how are you feeling about that? And what do you think about him retiring so suddenly?
Well, it's a sudden move, going ahead and retiring for those Raiders. But the first thing I thought about is a few short years ago, he did lose his brother to suicide, unfortunately. And many prayers for any family that deals with that specific tragedy. But I thought that, Gallup, I don't know if he really recovered from the ACL tear. I don't think he recovered for it fully. And sometimes, man, it's a mental game. And mentally, if you aren't there, you may just check out. But who's to say he may be back?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I did mention I read on there that the Las Vegas Raiders put him on the pup list. So I don't know. Maybe he was expecting to play or something, and I don't know. But it was sudden that he and they like they said he didn't even make the announcement. So like I said, but as for us here at the Cowboy Podcast, we definitely salute him, and we also give thanks for all of his contributions and being a part of the organization. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
He had that toe that drag swag going on with him. He was special. MG, he put the lights on. He was comfort to the quarterback when the ball was thrown his way. I think he did a great job in Dallas. I was really looking forward to what he was going to do in the rest of his career, short career. But man, hate to see him go from the Cowboys, and definitely hate to see him leave the league, because I surely would have followed to see how well he would have done going forward in his career.
Yeah, bouncing back anyway. So yeah, that would definitely be something to see, man. But I would just now I'm gonna say this, Chip. I don't think he's hurting too bad. He got 62.5 million in his pocket. So
mean green, yeah. He got that mean green.
He might have plans, man. He might be doing some investments, and it happens. You remember the running back that played for the Vikings, Rod Strickland. What was his name? He was a running back, but he was a doctor as well. He quit football and what was his name? Rod. Oh, I can't think of his name. But he was a running back and a darn good running back for the Vikings. And he basically just retired and went on and went forward with his profession in medicine. So that's good. What's up? There he is. Steve Davis is in the house. Give it up. What's up, Let's go, Cowboys. Love the content, fellas. Appreciate you, fam. Give it up for Steve. Yeah. So yeah, man, we Steve, we definitely got a lot to talk about. So with that being said, Chip, so the Cowboys have landed. They have arrived in Oxnard. How you feeling about that, man?
I'm happy. I'm definitely happy because, after we took that Green Bay loss, it was a heavy duty off season, especially you take a loss and you get bounced by a team you were supposed to win against. And then you go through an off season when the owner tells us that we're all in. And from all signs, it really doesn't quite seem like it, G. And so from a fan perspective, it's been a little depressing off season. But man, it's like they take us on a merry-go-round. We get so upset with the Cowboys when we lose. Then we're mad at them. Then we look forward to the draft. Then after the draft, we say they haven't picked well enough. Then we go through these emotions. And once we land in Oxnard, the excitement is on again. I'm happy now. Yes, sir.
Give it up. I know it, man. And and when we talk about that, to be honest, man, and that period of time, it was like the what do you call it? The well, it's one of the dormant times for us. It was so dormant for us.
Yes, sir.
All the expectation that we thought was going to happen didn't happen. So there was a long dormant time that we had to go through. And just the morale wasn't there anymore. Just the morale, because we was trying to figure out what are we doing? What are we doing here? And with that being said, here we are now. I'm gonna move to this topic right now. So, where it's looking now, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is not reported in Dallas training camp. Let the holdout begin. So, just read a little bit what's going on. CeeDee Lamb was not on the Dallas Cowboys team plane when it left Dallas on Tuesday morning, and he didn't arrive to the Residence Inn in Oxnard, site of training camp. Those weren't necessarily all of the clues that the All-Pro wide receiver was in full holdout, but quarterback Dak Prescott and a number of other players arrived at camp on their own and didn't take the team charter. So basically, go down there. It also says, but Lamb has been consistent in action throughout the offseason, suggesting that he was not going to practice in training camp without a new deal. That will also start the clock of a mandatory fines of $50,000 a day for missing camp. Lamb is 25 and is due to earn 17.9 million in 2024 under his fifth-year option, which is far below the value of the receiver coming off a career best season in 2023. So, Chip, what are you thinking, man? I mean, should he be doing this?
It's so many ways to look at this one, G. I say first of all, if I was CD, I would do the exact same thing. If I was CD Lamb, because I've shown you year after year after year that I have got better and better and better. I've shown you that I put butts in them seats. I've shown you that my jersey sells. I've shown you that I am there for my team. Now, we know what it was like not to have wide receiver talent on this team. We know exactly how it feels. We know how it felt when they let Amari Cooper go. We know how when they played wide receiver by committee. We've seen all the hard times of what it feels like not to have a pivotal player. Now, when you got them 88s in the building, you need to sign that man because he's been great. Now, another way to look at it is a few short years, it was the last year, the year before, when Zach Martin sat out. He sat out because he wanted that contract. Now, what happened when he sat out? Those guys that behind him got those reps. They got reps in. They got time to play. So when offensive line guys went out, guess what? They stepped up, and they wasn't green because they had the reps. Now, what should happen here, I pray CeeDee Lamb comes in, but in his absence, let's get all those wide receiver number 2, number 3. Let's get everything solidified. Let's get the chemistry down and rolling, because although CD isn't here, I'm quite sure he's been in that number 4 backyard.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Give it up. You're right about that. So you are agreeing that it's okay for CD to be doing what he's doing, right?
Get that money, baby.
Get that money, and that's the only way you're going to get it. Is you got to prove it. I just don't want to find ourselves like we did when we witnessed Emmitt Smith's.
We mess around and go 2-5, and G, that's another thing, because you mess around and you sit out, and the team messes around, go 2-5. Come on. Or whatever it is, we don't need to go that route. And so I told you how I felt about it if I was CD. Now, from a team perspective, you're still under contract, sir. We need you in the building. Please get yourself in the building, because as of today, you have a contract. So since you have a contract, let's go ahead and run yourself on the thing. And same thing from a fan's perspective. As a fan, if I'm going to Oxnard to watch training camp, I want to see them 88s running up and down the field, And so for CD, from a business standpoint, I would say sit out. But guess what? If you're a fan, we want you in the building. Shout out to PR.
Give it up. PR's in the house, y'all. PR's in the house, man. I tell you.
Took a little longer than expected today, man. A little longer, but we made it. Jeez.
Hey, man. Hey, stuff happens, man. We got to take care of business at home first. Happy wife, happy life. I mean, I'm just saying.
You know it. You know it.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's it. How y'all doing tonight? How Chip? Man, I'm glad to see you back. We've been missing you. Glad to see you back.
Facts, man. Yeah, Chip said he's doing good, and I'm glad. I think everybody is from the podcast is glad to see Chip back and see he got through the little storm and everything. And sometimes you got to go through the storm in order to be victorious. So give it up. So now, Chip, you just said something, and you can chime in on this, PR. But we're talking about CD being off, taking off and things to that nature. And people saying that he's rightfully so. He should. Hello, Roxanne. How you doing? Good to see you. Give it up for Roxanne. So, but Chip just said something. He's still under contract. So it seems like this has been the way it works now. Even though you're still under contract, I'm still gonna hold out because I want a better contract. So Pete, how do you feel about that when you see players still under contract, but they decide to hold out?
I'm never going to fault a guy for trying to get his money. Get as
Right.
much as money as you can. It's not nothing's guaranteed the next day. Get what you can.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just kind of brings that back the point to our guy Dak, the leadership he shows of being out there with his guys, not knowing when he's going to get his deal or even if he's going to get a new contract, and he's showing up. And you got guys like Jordan Love holding out, Lamar Jackson not showing up to mini camps. You got all these guys, and then you got Parsons not being there for mandatory camps and stuff like that. This is where we show who the true leader of this team is. And like I said, you know what, CD, we know what he can do. We we know he'll be in camp. The deal's going to get done regardless. But this is going to be a good opportunity for these guys. Ryan, our draft pick this year, uh, Turpin, and the kid you like, Brooks from last year, the kid we drafted last year, Brooks, and all these other receivers to get more reps to and get on the same page with Dak and this new offense and get them rolling.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to get okay. Camel Hunter podcast. Dak showed up this year, but he held out before too. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's what we're talking about. And it's rightfully, and it's okay too. But again, but Chip said something. It's like you know, bargain committee at my job. I'm still under contract until next year, but I can't. I can't hold that. I'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? I would
Yeah,
get fired if I tried. So I would be replaced.
right away.
If I try to pull a CD Lamb, there's no way. But yeah, that is something. That is something to know. Wait a minute, administrator's coming on. Hold on, she's saying something, y'all. But let's see what's going on. But the thing about that is, make that get the bag if you can, but it happens. Like I said, I guess that's just the way they play the game now. The negotiation, they negotiate even though they have a year on the
yeah.
contract. We saw Odell
That,
Beckham do it. He was one of the biggest
that's
one to do
the
it.
that's a new way of doing things, and then demanding a trade too. That's what you're gonna do to try. You see Brandon Ayuk doing it in San Francisco. You got Williams, a pro. You got a lot of it. It's the way they do, to get their contract, and if you feel like you're one of the best, that's I'm not gonna
And it's
fault the guy.
true.
Like I said, I'm not gonna fault the
I
guy for trying
feel
to get his money.
Yeah.
I feel
What you
like
got,
he should
Freebub?
get his. I feel like he should get his bag. And you said that if you were, people that are union jobs, they go on strike all the time for negotiations all the time, and they keep their job. They go on strike. Just think about it. Miller Brewery was on strike for almost 4 months this year.
Mm,
GM
Well,
has been on strike several times.
only
It's
come
thing
all
on.
about
about
that,
getting your bag.
the only
I say
thing
go
about
get
that, what
your bag.
why I mentioned that was because we can't walk until our contract is expired. That's why I said I would get fired if I tried to do it now before the contract's up. But what we're saying is you have players that's under the contract. They still got a year on their contract, but I guess their bargain committee and when they sat down and negotiated, I guess it's legal. So it is legal. But like Chip said, listen, guys, we want to see. Your fans want to see you on the field. But it's I guess it's a business move.
But
Yeah,
you
as
know,
fans,
G,
like, oh, go ahead, Chip. Sorry.
I'm sorry, brother. The thing that upsets me because it shouldn't even have to get to this right here, and
Yeah.
the
Facts.
That
ownership.
part.
I
That
don't
part.
see how ownership when you really got nice pieces. If you won 12 games a few years in a row, you know that you're right there. You're inches away. You might need a piece, a coaching change, philosophy change, wherever it is, but you're right there to make something happen and get a Super Bowl and you don't go spend the money. But folks like Detroit are getting it done. Other teams are getting it done. They're spending the money with high caliber players. And the Cowboys, here we are. And I just pray Jerry doesn't wet the bed on this one. But we got to stand up. Let's pay those who the money's due. Because at the end of the day, we're having fun at home, but they're putting their lives on the line. We don't know when CTE is going to hit them, when injury is going to hit them. We don't know when anything's going to wipe them out. Hey, and they got a short span of a career, up 10 years maybe, right? But then they got to live off of this money for the rest of their lives. Pay them people.
That's true. That's so true. And like I said, we shouldn't even be here right now. But real quick before I forget this, PR. Charles, I did a video with Charles. With Charles Haley had said something on a video that he was on, and he made it, and he said something about trade that, and we know we say, "Oh, that's foolish, and everything." But he said something. He said Jerry has been backloading these contracts for so many years, and he has been gambling for so many years that it might has caught up with him. And this is the reason he's in this position today, because all of the backloading, all the gambling, and taking this person contract, extending it down the road to where now he's in a situation. What do you think, PR Cowboy?
Yeah, and it's just like, you get Steven up there saying stuff like, "Oh, we gotta be Houdini with these contracts,"
Oh my
and I'm
God!
like, why do you have to be Houdini when you put yourself in that situation in the first place? You would have, and you act like you're the only team that's dealing with these situations, and other teams are able to get around it. But you created this issue, and like we said over and over again, it's your fault. And like I said, like, don't blame these guys. Like, as fans, yes, we want them out there. We want them. They should be there. We want them out there. But on the business side, is, hey, this should have been done last year. Should have been done. And he's not even asking for me the highest paid.
Well, and that's so true. That's so true. But again, even Stephen Jones said we have two non quarterbacks. Dude, I got so upset. Two non quarterback that feels like they should be paid like quarterbacks. What you mean, Phil? Feeling has nothing to do with this. This is about stats. And I titled my last video, "Stats Do Not Lie." If you want to know anything about these players that's looking for money, look at their stats. Look at their production. So, I don't know where Steven, it's like, what are they doing, man? And the needle is starting to really point towards the front office. It's really starting to point the front office, Chip. I mean, I'm baffled. How can you even say something like that?
And that's another thing that the team happens to do from time to time, is just throw the player under the bus as if they haven't done anything for the franchise. And here's the thing: why you don't want to pay Dak or CD or Micah, I guarantee you the price of hot dogs are going up in the stadium. The price of popcorn is going up in the stadium.
Beer.
You're receiving revenue from these players and from the jersey sales. And so it's just a mess what the front office is doing. And I hope they would take good note of what other teams are doing, but take a reflection on how they deal with their folks and realize that some of us feel that it's just not right.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to come up with something. But all this pointing the finger stuff, and like you said, we shouldn't even be here right now. We shouldn't be right here. We need all our players on the field. But what that does lead to, PR Cowboy, it leads to a receiver competition. So I don't know who's gonna play the number one, but we do have some receivers that's gonna probably get some good look at as far as while CD's not around. So
Yeah.
that could be some pretty good competition out there on the field, man.
Yeah, and we, like I said, we talked about it before. We feel like CD and Cooks, that's going to be the 1-2, and we're not totally. So I know I'm not of Tolbert just handing him the number 3 spot, because I feel like the thing that's exciting about these guys, this receiver core this year, like everybody, I know Gallup, man. Like I said, love Gallup while I was here. He did a lot of great things for us. But man, there is more speed on this wide receiver group now than we've
Yeah,
had in the past.
yeah.
You got Ryan, for the rookie that we just got. He got some speed inside. You know, of course, you know what Cooks can do with speed. Uh,
Got
Turpin with his
Jalen
speed.
Brooks.
Jalen Brooks. There's a lot of speed now to to really open things up. And you know, with Cooks under the second year in McCarthy's offense and getting with Dak, it's gonna benefit these guys. Like I said, we
Yeah.
know CD will get his, but yeah, I really really excited to see these young guys get the reps and see who takes the ball and run with it.
That's so true. And with that being said, man, and here we are. So there's a 2024 Dallas Cowboy training camp preview, and they were saying so. This is being reported by Todd Archer, and I want you guys input on this. So the biggest question is basically this is what was being asked: will the running back by committee work? And what he's saying right now, he said there is no fallback plans for the Cowboys, so it must some combination of Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, Royce Freeman, Deuce Vaughn, and or Malik Davis must come up with the 1,900 yards the Cowboys ran for last season with Tony Pollard as their lead back. So it also says that Elliott is coming off career lows in yards and carry in his long season with the Patriots, while Dowdle was coming off a career high in his yards and carry. So, with that being said, will it work, guys? Will this running back by committee work? And if it does, what committee would you rather see on this field? We'll start with you, Chip.
Well, one thing's for sure, I'm glad that we got a solid fullback. So let's take a look at what we did in the 90s when we had Moose Johnson. I would feature Zeke. Definitely look for him on short yardage. But now let's see what happens in camp, because you could do with Deuce what the Eagles, well, what the teams did with Sproles, right?
Yeah.
So Deuce can be a weapon that could give you $200 or $300 dollars yards. Hopefully,
No, that's good. You're right. $200 or $300. That's right.
hopefully he gets his dollars. But Deuce could get you 200 or 300 yards. Dowdle could go for about 3, and let's get Zeke to go from anywhere from 4 to 6. And Malik Davis. How many are we going to have though? Anyway,
Yeah.
feature for me is and I know a lot of people will disagree, but let's go ahead and feature Zeke. Start Zeke, right? Give him, the first couple of reps. Bring Dottle in, play the game that you played with him and Pollard. Wham bam.
Dude, it just kills me when you say that. And I'm the biggest Zeke fan. I just don't like the fact that we're talking about making Zeke your starter. We got rid of him for a whole season.
Yeah.
Here we are. He's a starter. So why did we get rid of him if he's going to be our starter again? So,
well, you got rid of him because we couldn't afford to pay him. We for the production, we couldn't give you the amount of money you had, right? So you got rid of him. Now he's back on the $6 million. You would have been paying him $6 million too, still on a cap for him this year, whether he was here or not. You got him now with the 6 plus whatever he's getting. You made a point, even though we love him, why do you feature him? I think I feature him because he's in my heart.
yeah.
But Dowdle, okay, start Dowdle. But Zeke for sure will give you the blocking that you need. Zeke for sure will give you the short yardage, and we won't have the red zone problems. So maybe feature start Zeke because you love Zeke. You get the first series. Then
Right.
now let's go Dowdle. And come on, Zeke, you're gonna give us the short yardage, third down packages.
Yeah. So, PR, what are you thinking, brother?
I think it's it's a hot mess back there. That's what I think. I'd say my thing is I mean, like you said, I love Zeke. I think this is what my opinion. I think it'll be Deuce, Rico, and Zeke. Not in any order. I'm just saying those three will be the guys with our fullback. as the four guys to make the team on the backfield, just because Deuce can add to the special teams on kick returns. So I think Deuce takes that role of that Pollard of the in the passing game as far as when it comes on the offensive side of the ball. You sprinkle in some Turpin with some of those plays too. Um, and I think it's just going to come down, like you said, Zeke can start the game, like you said, and then he can be named the starter, but doesn't mean he'll end up with the most carries. It could be Deuce Vaughn with 18 carries and Zeke getting the third down packages and passing downs and stuff. So we're blocking and stuff like that. I think it's going to come down to that. My gut feeling is one of these guys, and I'm going to say not Zeke. Like I said, I hope Zeke proves me wrong, and I hope he has a hell of a year. But I'm going to say one of these guys is going to showcase that we didn't see coming, and he's going to take this lead role at the backfield, and it'll be a two-back system. We just don't know which two yet.
Well, can we use Hunter Luque?
Hey,
can we use a fullback? Is it wrong to use a fullback just because everybody else is not using one? Can we use a fullback, PR Cowboy?
And we were excited for him last year because of what we've seen McCarthy do in the past with Akun in Green Bay. We were excited. We thought, like, man, they're going to use this guy, like San Francisco uses Jusic there, over there, and McCarthy has used him in the past. Man, are we going to get him? I think he will be more involved. I think he will. I think he will be more involved this year.
And I say, I really hopes that he's more involved. I think at the point when he put that ball on the carpet, the one game that, you lost a little bit of confidence in him, but I think they really should have stuck with him. I think he got the grit, the gum, he got the strength for sure to be what you need. And I really hope they do highlight him. Now that we're thinking of it, it'll be really sweet for them to highlight him.
Yeah, I just think McCarthy is going to have McCarthy, you got to be more creative. You have to be more creative with the talent that you have. You had Hunter. You could have did a 3-man. You could have did the wishbone and did some type of pistol offense. Just you have that. That it's like, you having a Charger, and you got the Hellcat or whatever, and you only keep it in touring mode. Why'd you buy it? So
yeah, and it needs to be where it needs to be put in. It's in the red zone. That's where they need to highlight him more, because like we know the offense can do what it does, right? With Dak and the MVP season he had, this offense can get the ball down the field. It's in between the 20, the red area. Highlight those guys more. Use Deuce, use Lipke, use those guys, and more touchdowns and field goals. Will have a better year on offense.
Yeah. And I say that because, man, this backfield is crowded. And I did a segment on this individual, and I'm finna show it to you because I got a video. I gotta give video. Give it up. Yes, sir. I wasn't gonna do this, but this kid here, he is part of the roster. So I want y'all to take a gander. That's right. I used the word gander. But let's check this kid out, man. And y'all just tell me what you think. And he's ducked off deep down in the roster. But y'all tell me what y'all think of this kid. I did a video on him on Monday Night Mic'd Up, but I don't know if y'all seen it. But watch this, guys. Check it out. And his name is Snoop Connor. He's 5'10", 222 pounds. Out of Ole Miss. I'm just saying, who is this kid? But this kid is 5'10", 222 pounds. Hold up, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Go all the way. There you go. Ooh, sweetness.
5'10", 222 pounds. Last person I knew weighed that and was that size was Emmitt Smith. Give it up. His name is Snoop Connor, and he's on the roster. And I always say, late round players and undrafted players, they're players too. So I like to highlight these kids, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he definitely looks like he has that burst and that strength to
That's
make it happen.
exactly. So
And he
he
could find
will
the
be.
hole. He definitely could find the hole.
Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
mean, in the red zone, he's going to get in. He's low to the
Yeah,
ground. Low center gravity.
yeah, and that's what he's saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Somebody unexpected is going to come out of this backfield and going to take the lead role. It's going to happen. You've seen it happen in the past. When we had DeMarco Murray, I don't think we were planning on him being a featured guy, fourth round pick, right?
Get this. Oh my
Somebody's
gosh.
and it happens, and we got to get through training camp with you don't know what kind of injuries happen, how much time players miss. Things happen,
Yeah.
and one of these guys, you can take a look at the kid from Missouri too, Pete. You just don't know. But you're right, G. I mean,
Yeah.
if he can showcase, somebody's gonna come out unexpected.
And you know what?
Well,
One thing that we got to give the Cowboys props for, as much as we give them a hard time for paying folks, is the Cowboys really draft well. And from time to time, they find gems. Who would have thought an undrafted Tony Romo would do the things that he did? Who would have thought a fourth round pick in Dak Prescott to get handed the torch to them? We've done great things in the draft. So hats off to Connor. Welcome to the Cowboys. Hope he's a beast. Hope he makes it.
So, and to truth be told, man, if this kid comes in doing that, Royce Freeman and Zeke might.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Be a surprise.
Nobody's here. You owe big money on this running back, so nobody's guaranteed here to have
Nobody.
their spot. So that's a great point, G. And like I said, it could be anybody's. Like you said, our biggest question last year, what was it? The field goal kicking game, right? We didn't know what we had in Brandon Aubrey. And here we go again this year. Our biggest question is the running back. Are we going to have that same luck where one of these guys just comes out and gives us that Brandon Aubrey kind of performance?
And you know what? Could I just let it out the bag that G, when it comes to Zeke Elliott, I think I love him so much, but I have butterflies. And I think I'm having nightmares that at the end of training camp, Zeke might get cut. I'm praying it doesn't happen, but it's been in the back of my mind.
Again, and that's what we're talking about. We know that there's going to be a position battle at receiver. There's going to be a position battle at running back. There's going to be a position battle at the defensive tackle position, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if this kid Snoop Connor does anything that he did in college, there's going to be a lot of men out, and I can see a Rico Dowdle in this kid. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. You don't know. We never know.
I'm just saying, like you say, you never know. He runs hard like Zeke, but he's the same size as Emmett, and he don't shy away from tackles. He runs, he ducks his shoulder and he lowers his head and he brings the boom. So again,
how many times have we seen this around the league? You see it in Kansas City with the 7th round pick Pacheco take over the backfield. They just drafted a 1st round guy the year before. This 7th round kid comes in and takes his spot. You got a kid in Pittsburgh taking over Mendenhall's carries. And you can see it across the league over and over at running back. So that's why I'm excited to see this training camp at running back position. I want to see if we hit on one of these guys and they give us that.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this here, and when we talk about competition battles, I guess the player that has to prove the most, I would think it would have to be Mozzie Smith. And not in a bad way, but because of the season that he had last year, he's a 1st rounder. I guess would you say that? Would you say that Mozzie would probably have the most to prove, or be one of the players that has most to prove out of all the players? I mean, what do you think, Chip?
Definitely. You definitely need to bounce back from a lackluster year. You come in as a 1st round pick. You was this big pork chop eating, potato salad eating, loaf of bread eating brother.
A whole loaf of bread.
Stuff the middle and stop the run. And somehow you happen to eat salad and lose all of this weight, right? And so I don't know how he got on that program, you know, which really caused him to shine, if you want to say it that way, but definitely cost him time. He wasn't able to do anything. So he has something to prove. The reports are that he's ready to go. He definitely should have a chip on his shoulder, and he definitely has something to prove this year. Much like the first rounder that we got this year on the offensive line. When we pick you in the first round, we expect you to play. And when you don't play, we got something to say.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think, PR? What do you think about that?
Yeah, Chip said all the right points, man. It's like you said, when he was picked last year, we sat here and we are just like, man, we didn't know about the pick. We didn't really, or like, and then he doesn't even play in the first string in the preseason. He's, and the season's going along and he gets to play due to injuries, but he just doesn't. Now, after the season's over, he's dealing with injuries again. And he does have something. He has to prove something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because yes, we drafted him, but Zimmer wasn't there. He didn't draft you, and he's going to push you. But if you're not going to be that guy, you won't play at all. You'll be on the practice squad. So, yeah. So I'm not, like I said, we're watching him. We have our eyes on him because what was our big weakness is stopping the run. So
they're running all over.
We expect you to come in and do that.
That's going to be the question right there, guys. Will Jerry sit there and tell Mike Zimmer, because he is my first rounder, I expect him to play, or will he allow Zimmer to get the best player for the position? So that is something we got to watch, because Mike Zimmer is not going to allow his players to embarrass him. He's going to always say next man up. But now, will there be a controversy between Zimmer and Jerry Jones? Are we going to do this politically, or are we going to do this game time situation? So that's going to be something to say, because I say that to say this, guys. If we're going to use Chauncey Golston as one of our DTs, we are in trouble. I looked up Chauncey Golston, and right now they got him at DT. He's only weighing at 268 pounds.
We need some 300-pounders. We need some 300-pounders. We need some big body bangers for the rest of Jerry's life. And I thank the Lord for Jerry. He's done great to build this organization. But we need Jerry to just, write the checks, do whatever have you. But we need the coaches to coach and the players to play. And we really don't need much from Jerry, except thank you for what you've done. Continue to put us in great positions to market us. But let Zim do what Zim does. Zim will make plays, and he'll make great decisions. Do not go over him in the decisions that he make. Please, Jerry Jones, don't do it. Let Zim do the deal.
Yeah, and that's the question, because right now, man, we got a few 300-pounders, but that's Carl Davis Jr. He is the 300-pounders, but we also have one other guy that I think he's about 6'5". So really and truly, and then Osa Digazua, I think he's at 290. So again, I guess this is the scheme for Dan Quinn, as he wanted pass rushers, I guess, but Mike Zimmer and his defense is totally different. So we might see contributions from guys that's on this team that may not be the starters. I mean, Carl Davis Jr. might be the guy that plays the one technique. But there's also another kid that's out there. He's 6'5" and weighs 338. His name is Justin Rogers.
Okay.
Justin Rogers, he played at Kentucky. He transferred to Auburn. But he is a guy that we might be seeing on this field. What's up, Cowboy Corner? Let me put that link up so you can come in for a minute, brother. But, so we might see some names that we haven't even heard of. But that's why I try to do what I do as far as giving the guys in the back, that late round draft pick or free agents.
It
They're
could be
players
it,
too. So
yeah, it could be somebody on another team right now that gets cut during training camp, and we bring along that can be starting at defensive tackle. We don't, there's that possibility too.
So that is going to be a position battle. That defensive tackle is going to be a position battle. Like I say, the receiver position, the running back position, and then the number 2 quarterback is going to be a position battle. So, guys, if you haven't watched the training camp or anything, this is the time to pay attention what goes
It's a
on.
lot to watch, a lot to watch for.
And with that being said, and kind of change the subject real quick, but like we're talking about CD getting paid, now they're saying Dak is probably worth $70 million. So the question is being asked, would you, Chip, pay Dak $70 million? That's a lot of money. That's a whole bunch of money, man.
That's a heavy duty question.
And,
I'm glad I'm not in that position because emotionally, but to solidify the team, we do gotta take a look at the contracts that we're giving out there. I find a way to give Dak the loot. I'm sorry, because you need a quarterback. The depressing thing about the Cowboys is, after the 8 years, we saw what went on. Nothing. We bought Quincy Carter. We had some of everybody. Randy Cunningham, Testaverde. You had so many bodies go through the building. Then somehow, Bledsoe, you find this guy, Tony Romo. And finally, when you should have been going 4 and something, this quarterback is dramatic enough and good enough to get you to 8-8. You're lucky you got the 8-8. It was because of the quarterback. Dak isn't getting all of the praise that I think he deserves, because if you just look at the numbers, look at what the man has done. I don't care however you carve it up, pick up his stats. It's funny that his stats line up with Patrick Mahomes. The numbers are the numbers, however you get them. You look at the fact that he can lead an organization.
Yeah.
Never been in no major trouble. Nothing going on. I'm sorry, I'll find a way to pay the man.
Yeah, no. No. You're sounding like a politician. I asked you a question. You didn't.
I know.
But before we go any further, I gotta welcome my guy, man. I appreciate him coming through because he always come through and holler at us and swing in and swing out. Give it up for Cowboys Corner. Give it up.
Thank you guys for having me. G. Hampton, Game Sports TV.
What's up, baby?
I got
PR
my
Cowboy.
Is that what is it? PR Cowboys?
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Thank you guys for having me. So,
and Pete, I'm gonna get to you since he. I guess I want to ask that same question, but I'm not gonna forget about you, Pete. So, we're talking about CD, and we all know that he's sitting out, wanting more money, which rightfully so. Even though he still is under contract. But the big question is, it's being told that could be worth $70 million. And the question is being asked, would you pay Dak $70 million?
$70 million? Who do you think he is? Chelsea Clinton? Ain't no way in hell you're paying that quarterback 70. Bye, Felicia. Dak needs to hit the bricks. Chip Game Sports TV talking about he can lead this franchise, lead him to a wild card loss. That's what he's been doing. But what he's going to lead us to? His mansion? To the Dak attack field? No, sir. If Dak gets paid $70 million a year, average per year, 70, I will buy a Dak Prescott jersey and I will wear it every show that I do, whether that's Talking Crazy, whether that's on the Cowboy Up podcast, whether that's right here on this podcast, right? I will wear it no matter what. And It ain't happening. There ain't no way. No way.
Cowboys corner. Cowboys corner. Cowboys corner. Take a breath, my brother. Get a cool rag. Let's look at the videotape. In any game in the playoffs, Dak has had you in the game, and he never once played defense. Can you speak to that for me? He doesn't play defense. He's put you in position to win. Let's go back to Ray Lewis when they won the first Super Bowl. They had a quarterback that couldn't get you more than 17 points per game. Come on now. Don't be doing that to my guy Dak. No, sir.
All right.
Don't.
You want to talk about you want to talk
please.
about both sides of the ball. I don't want to take over your show, G Hampton. I know Pete still has to go. All right. So let's talk about this 40. Let's talk about this Packers game, right? Yes, they had a game. They scored on their opening drive. They had a game plan. They had a script, and it worked for them. Dak Prescott gets in the game. You have to match that energy. Dak Prescott goes 3 and out. The defense gets back on the field. And on top of that, on that first drive, they had a PI call, and that's what extended the drive. Let's not forget about that. Then Dak Prescott goes 3 and out. The defense gets them to punt the ball. What does your quarterback, your $70 million quarterback, do? He throws an interception. So the defense that just got scored on, that just got a 3 and out, is back on the field. So what do? They go score again because this defense is already on the field for 5 minutes on a 7-minute span, right? So then Dak Prescott, he gets the ball back. And what does he do? So right now we got punt, interception. They punt again. So guess what happens? The defense is back on the field. And they score on the defense again because the defense is already. When Tank Lawrence said we were tired, that man was not lying. The man was tired. Then Dak Prescott gets the ball back again. And what does he do, G. Hampton? He throws a pick six. The whole stadium, 100,000 fans. The stadium is breathless, and there's one eyes. There's two eyes on 100 million people, and it's on number 4. It's on number 4. At home, in that stadium, on the sidelines, he might as well just wear some cheese on his head because he was a Packer that day. He was a Packer that day. And then we were talking about, they turned it up in the second half. We didn't score our first points till 2 minutes left in the first half. What quarterback leads you that way? He leads you to an L. You're supposed to match that hype. This was the youngest team in the league. He was supposed to set that example. And he failed miserably. And that defense gave up on number 4 because they know he is not the guy. And then James Slater reported 72 hours later. 72 hours later, Jane Slater said an anonymous player on offense said Dak panics after the first read. And if you go back and you watch those interceptions, Dak was not attacking. He was panicking. And then you look at Mike McCarthy's press conference, G. Hampton. What did Mike McCarthy say? We tried to get Dak Prescott in rhythm, and it took longer than expected. An 8-year veteran can't get in rhythm? No, man. $70 million. He ain't Chelsea Clinton.
Cowboys corner, that's the going price for it. It's not about you winning Super Bowls or not. It's about the highest paid quarterback and then the next man up. So before I let you answer that, I want PR Cowboy to come in and what would you do? So we know right now Cowboy corner is not giving up $70 million. PR Cowboy, what do you think, brother?
Look, he'll get around 60 is what I think he's going to get. He's going to get an extension. I think it'll be for 3 years or something like that. But yeah, I would, because here we go again. So what is the difference between the Tampa Bay game and the Green Bay game? Do you think which game was tougher to go on the road to Tampa or at home against Green Bay? Which game was tougher? Which on paper, what you think was tougher?
It was the same game. That defense was ranked 32nd. And Tom Brady was not Tom Brady. Going into that, everybody knew that team was going to get smashed by that team.
But that's just a wild card quarterback. That's all he is. Like, he just gets you to the wild card and loses.
So when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and they lost, their road to the playoffs was against Daniel Jones and a 4-string quarterback. Do you give the Eagles credit, or do you say they kind of got lucky there?
No,
right?
I feel like in the postseason, I've always said this in the postseason, something has to bounce your way in the postseason. And when the Eagles got to the championship game, they got the Giants in the first round, and then they get a beat up San Francisco teams in the NFC championship game. Sometimes the ball just has to bounce your way. You would have won
both those games.
And look at the defense. Look at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes comes out, throws the interception in the second half. That Chiefs defense was just on the field, and they held that San Francisco team to field goals. Held them to field goals so your team can be in the game. Look, I get it. I'm not giving Dak a pass for that Green Bay's game. I get it. He played like trash. I get it. That's the one game I get. But I mean, it comes to the question: do you rather go 4-12 every year or have a chance in the postseason? That becomes a question.
All right, let me ask you this: what's the difference between losing in the wild card and going 4-12?
No, you still lose. You still don't get a ring. You're right. You still don't get a ring. But I'd rather. I mean, I don't know. I'm just me, my opinion. I'd rather be in the mix and have a chance to get to a championship than sit there and be like, here we go again, another 4-12 years.
Can I make this one final point?
And to jump in, there's 30 other quarterbacks sitting where Dak was last year. It's only one guy that got the ring. And if we look for the last few years, that guy's been there. But some of these guys that are getting these heavy-duty contracts, Trey Lance, you gonna tell me he's better than Dak? No, sir. No. Guys are getting the check. The position is what it is. The payday is what it is. Pay Dak. No, that's what I believe.
No, the payday. The payday's bigger than what it is. You're absolutely wrong on that. Let me ask you guys a question. I'll be real quick on this. Is my last point on this. Do you believe in windows? There's a window to hit a target. Do you believe in windows? When you go. Is it? Or let me ask you this. So there's a window, right? How hard is it to win in this league? It's very hard, right?
Yeah, very hard.
So when you go 12-5, 3 years in a row, and you have an exit like that, and then you got a quarterback that turns 31 in 5 days, how much window do you have in Prescott? You don't have much of a window. That window's going to be shut because you got contracts coming up, and then so that window for Dak. This is why he's not extended yet. That window has closed.
Quarterbacks are playing at age 40 these days.
That window has how many wins Super Bowls?
I don't think, like I said, you're right, and it's a window. And that's why I say I think he will get an extension, but I think it's a 2 to 3 year extension. And
that hurts your team.
I think they want to. No, yeah. No, but they've hurt our team from the beginning. If you go back to the first contract, they do it beforehand. You're not paying him at that much money that you were paying him. So they've been hurting our team beforehand.
That's a 3-year deal cripples your team because they're going to restructure that contract. Dak's on the books next year for $40 million, whether he's not here or not.
But that's what
imagine what a 3-year deal will do, and then a 35-year quarterback. Your team is crippled. You cannot extend Prescott.
Okay, and that's good barbershop talk what you guys are mentioning, because this is something that we hear all the time. You have those that saying that he will get extended, he should be extended, and there's some that say that he doesn't deserve it but we got here all because of Jerry Jones. This is why we're here right now. Okay, so with that being said, Cowboys Corner, how do we fix this issue, and what is your plan? I'm gonna let everybody elaborate on how will they fix this.
This is my plan. You ready? Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Dak Prescott walks. You're not going to get anything for him because every team in the National Football League knows that you're not going to sign him. So you can't trade for him unless the Raiders are super desperate. Okay? So Dak's gone. No, regardless. You extend CeeDee Lamb. You keep that dog on this team. That's going to help your future quarterback. You have a guy in Micah Parsons who disappears 7 out of the 17 games. That's your trade target to get in to a top 10 pick. So you trade Micah Parsons and you go get you your quarterback next year. with the trade of Micah Parsons. That's how you do it. And then I would rather gamble on a young guy with CeeDee Lamb than I would with a 31-year-old whose window's already shut.
So,
Yeah.
okay, PR Cowboy, how are you feeling about that, man? And how would you fix it?
I agree with you on the Parsons trade market. Like we said that last week. Was the one guy that if you were looking at a trade chip to improve this team, it would be Micah Parsons. That would be the one that can to get you some multiple picks. Like if Dak, you missed that window. Dak, if you're going to do it, you should have done it during the draft and to get those picks. That's what you should have done during the draft. But no trade clause. You should have done that with him if you're going to do that. So, like I said, my thing is I won't be mad if they stick with Dak, but I like his point about trading Micah and getting, because he disappears. I agree. He disappears in those big games, and I just feel like he hasn't shown that leadership. So
bring the band back together. The window is still open. It's not closed yet. In the next 1 to 3 years, you're guaranteed a Super Bowl.
I hope you're right, Chip. I hope you're right.
That's another option. You have 4 options here. But let me ask this question real quick, guys. We talk about Micah. He didn't show up. But we got to remember, Micah is what, 6'2", 6'3" at the most, weighing 245, 250, playing defensive end. This is well expected. What needs to happen, you take Parsons off of that defensive end and line him up in the gaps. And he can be still just as effective as he is. He cannot go up against these. Did you guys see Tyler Guyton today? The guy had to duck his head to get into the door. So we're talking about 18 games and this guy pounded. Of course, he's going to get worn down. This guy ducked his head to go into the darn facility, and we're asking this guy, Micah, to go up against this guy for 18 weeks. He's going to miss. So he's more effective to me if you move him around and don't give him so many snaps at the defensive end. But I don't know if I want to trade. I don't know if I want to trade Micah. I really don't.
You're spot on with not so many snaps at the defensive end, but Micah doesn't have it up here to play linebacker. Go watch his rookie tape. There's a reason why Dan Quinn took him away from linebacker. There's a reason. Go watch it. His athletic ability made up for his errors at linebacker. This how you want to use Micah Parsons? Use him in second and third down only. Don't have him on the first down play. Have him only on second and third down rushing the whole year. That's how you preserve Micah Parsons.
Because you probably still have the same issues at linebacker with him because of their defensive tackles not be able to hold up the blocks, and they're still going to be able to get to that level and wash them out. So, yeah, you're right, Kyle Corner. I feel the same way.
I don't know. I say that because we got Mike Zimmer. This is not the same defense. This guy disguises his defense. So this is reason. And, I'm looking at Overshown. These guys are pass rushers. But not only that, but he disguised it with some drop back in coverage type schemes. But, again, we're looking at Micah being at the defensive end. But I'm telling you, it could be a possibility that you might see Micah in the middle shooting the A-gaps.
If he's blitzing, then you get predictable.
Well, you don't
have Micah covered
with Mike Zimmer. You don't know with Mike Zimmer because he would line you up in the gap and he would drop back. So
I'm targeting Micah every time.
Say that again.
I'm going to throw at Micah. If Micah's in coverage, I'm throwing it his way every time.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
every
know.
time.
Well, it's going to be something to see if they can figure out Mike Zimmer's schemes. If again, we'll just say how that works. But yeah. See, man, you guys, man, I mean, y'all, woo, Cowboy Corner. So that's how you're going to fix our Cowboys. And I guess all we can do is watch and see, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's
it. What happened?
If I was GM, that's what I would do. Yeah. But let me touch on this, though. Let me touch on this. And I said this since February. After the Super Bowl, you can check my Twitter. The only way Dak Prescott gets extended is if Trey Lance looks like absolute garbage in the preseason. if Trey Lance looks absolutely garbage, Dak Prescott has a better chance of getting extended.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Chip?
That's a strong point, and I think it's true. Because we're waiting so long to sign Dak in the first place, which means somehow, somewhere, there's some pause there. I don't know why you haven't moved when it comes to the quarterback position. If Trey Lance shines, it does seem like they're like Dak played a year out. But if Trey Lance is a dud, he's spot on with that one. I think so. Good point from Cowboys corner, no doubt.
Well, now, and that's where it's looked like it's going to look this training camp, that it looks like the organization is going to give Trey Lance the opportunity. The opportunity for what? The opportunity to be the second quarterback or the third quarterback? Or is Jerry actually giving him opportunity to showcase that he could be our guy? So this is something that we don't know. We won't know until it actually happened. But again, my question is to Jerry: is he playing this by a political move? This is my guy. He's making all his money, so he's my starter. Or does he go with game time move and say the best player at the best position? What do you think about that, Cowboy Corner?
He has to go what's best for the salary cap and the future of the franchise. Dak's going to demand a short-term deal, right? And that's going to cripple the Dallas Cowboys salary cap. There's no guarantee it's going to go up $30 million. There's no guarantee it's going to go up $15 million. The least it might go up is probably 10. And then you got a quarterback going from 40 to 70 potentially. That cripples you on top of CD, on top of let's just say they extend all three. You're done. You're done, right? So Jerry sent a fourth-round pick to the 49ers without hesitation for a reason. And but they didn't pick up his franchise tag. It was 1 year, $20 million. You can sign him for 2 years, $20 million after this year if you wanted to. So you get another year for the same money. That's why they didn't pick up that franchise tag. They did it to Leighton Vander Esch. That's how they got Leighton Vander Esch so cheap.
Yeah. So it's a possibility that Dallas is putting all their eggs in one basket behind.
If he looks good.
Yeah.
Trey Lance has to look like 2016 Dak Prescott.
But okay, well let's take that back. Let's take that. Are we saying that he's better than Dak?
No.
His falls on Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, again, we was expecting him to coach Dak up. Okay?
And he did.
Okay, so
Mike got him elevated, yeah.
There you got another guy. This young guy, you're going to have to put him in good position to be successful. So a lot is going to be riding on Mike McCarthy. So this is why we have so many coaches and players on this last year contract, because Jerry's not going to pay anybody else unless he can see it to believe it. And that's where he is with the coaches and the players. So Mike McCarthy, you're going to have to put this guy Trey Lance in a good position to be successful, because really and truly, I'm going to say this. I really feel that Kyle Shanahan set Trey Lance up for failure. I think he's a better quarterback than Kyle Shanahan thought he had, but
he couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy.
True, yeah, he broke his ankle. He did. He did.
Yeah.
But I think Trey Lance is a good quarterback, and I really do. I think he's young. I mean, he comes in with Zach Wilson. He comes in with Justin Fields, and everybody's giving Trey Lance such a hard job. Oh, he's not ready. Well, damn, when is he going to be ready? He won't be ready unless you put him on the field. So, again, everybody got to start somewhere. You got Zach Wilson, you got Justin Fields, you got Trey Lance and some others. But, again, I feel if this preseason is going to go the way we want it or to be successful, Mike is going to have to draw up a good game plan for Trey. That's just what and he's gonna get all the opportunities, because we know Dak's not gonna play all preseason. So Trey's gonna get all the preseasons. He's gonna get all the he sat all last year to learn the playbook. Here's your chance. We know he has the arm streak. We know he has the athletic ability. We know he has the size. Can he put it together now? That's what we want. We want to see. You have to win the number 2 spot first. And like Cowboys Corner said, we didn't think about that.
Jerry waiting on, does he have it? Does he have something that we can go? Then we can let Dak play out the last year of his contract. It's all going to depend, and we'll see. We'll see very shortly of what we got in Trey Lance.
So yeah, and we was just talking about this, Cowboy Corner. I'm not gonna hold you any longer, but I would, we got some position battles that we're gonna see. We got a position battle at running back. We got a position battle at receiver. We got a position battle at defensive tackle. So these are some things that we got to keep our eye on, because this is something that basically we're going to have to see who's going to be our starter at these positions, who's going to get the playing time, who's going to get cut. Yeah, we was just talking about this earlier. Is a possibility. I just showed a video of Snoop Connor. I don't know if you heard of him.
Oh yeah,
he's at Ole Miss. If this guy come in here and start lowering the boom, and Rico Dowdle, backs him up, and they got this 1-2 combo, it could be pretty bad for Zeke Elliott. You think?
100%. I think people misconstrue like the signing of Zeke Elliott. And yes, he's Zeke, and we thank him for his services, right? But we're talking about a running back in the National Football League, an 8-year vet running back. Going into his 9th year, it's not good for him, right? He has, and I'm looking at the Nathaniel Pete, the running back out of Missouri. I'm looking at him, 5'9", speedster. That's one of my pet cats in this draft. When we got him as an undrafted free agent, I said, that's my guy. I can't wait to see that. But I'm looking at Rico Dowdle. He should have a chip on his shoulder. I'm looking at Malik Davis. He should have a chip on his shoulder. Sure. These are the veteran guys that's been hanging around this roster waiting for their opportunity. You're going to bring Zeke back? You're going to bring Zeke back? So I'm looking for these vet guys that's been hanging around this roster to step up. Now, there's a lot of roster garbage. We talk about a lot of competition. There's a lot of roster garbage. Deuce Vaughn is roster garbage. Jalen Tolbert is roster garbage. Earl Scott Jr. is roster garbage. Nashawn Wright is roster garbage. These guys got to get out of the way and let some of these young guys come in here. Ryan Flowney, Matt Walesko, Josh Ball, roster garbage. Let me see what Nathan Thomas can do. Let me see what Cooper Beebe can do at the guard position if you're going to have Brockhoff in there at center, right? So much roster garbage that needs to go, and let these young bucks go and play, because the Cowboys, when it comes to undrafted free agents, have a platinum record, all right, inside in those guys.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Eminem for doing a platinum record.
We're talking political. This is the whole thing. That's Jerry. Jerry's doing. This is political. We drafted these guys. These guys have to play, or they got to have the first dibs. But that shouldn't be the setup, Chip. That shouldn't be. It should be the best player for the position. Do you agree?
Definitely, I think it has to be the best player for the position. Let's get these guys out here. Let's get them in pass. They're being passed by next week. And I think the coaches really need to be taking note, and they ought to have autonomy in the room to sign whoever best fits this roster. My emotions are definitely on certain positions, but we got to get the emotions out for sure and get down to the business. If we want to win a Super Bowl, and it has to happen, and this training camp will show who should be there and who shouldn't. By August 21st, we'll know what the deal is, I hope.
So before we end, I'm just the last question to you. We'll start with you, Cowboys Chronicle. We appreciate you coming on and
thanks for having
firing us up and everything. But so with this training camp starting, what are the two players? We're just going to name two right now. Two players that you're going to keep your eye on throughout the training camp. Or who is it that you are willing, eager to see on the field?
Absolutely. I'm going to go with our rookie, Tyler Guyton. There's a lot of talk that this is a project player. I dubbed him a project player. All eyes on Tyler Guyton. My second player is going to be Mozzie Smith, all right? I need Mozzie Smith not to be a bust, all right? If he's another bust, I will protest tacos forever. I will protest anything Michigan forever, all right? I need Mozzie Smith to step up in this new system. It's fit for him. It's made for him. It's time for him to unleash, and I need Mozzie Smith to be that beast.
That's a good one. Give it up. Give it up. All right, PR Cowboy. What two players that you got your eye on and you're eager to see in this training camp?
I'm gonna go Cooper Beebe as one of my guys. Cooper Beebe is one guy I want to see. Or is he going to get an opportunity at center? I know we've had a lot of discussions about that. Or is he going to, at guard? What's going to be the deal for him? I want to see what they do with him to start. And then my second one, man, there's so many to choose, but it's that cornerback depth. Is the kid from Wake Forest that we drafted? Is this kid going to step into that role?
Ryan.
And
Is it Ryan? No, Kalen. Kalen, somebody.
Yeah. I want to see if he's going to be able to create that depth we need at cornerback and be that young kid that can step up with Bland taking the outside and he can come in and slot. Because Jordan Lewis is there. We know what Jordan Lewis can do, but can this young kid come in and make some waves in training camp?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. What do you think, Chip? What two players are you kind of keeping your eye on and you're eager to see?
My two guys that I'm most eager to see are guys that came up off of injury from last year, Overshown and John Stevens Jr. I want to see how these guys bounce back after they had what looked like a good training camp, a good time last year, and they was projected to do something. I want to see if we get them involved, see how they bounce back from injury, and what can they add to the team.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one, Chip.
That's a good one.
Those are good ones. That is good.
Those are good ones because I really think John Stevens Jr. That's his name, John. What's his name?
Yeah, Stevens.
John Stevens Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kid, man, he's a receiver playing tight end. Now I know he's not going to leapfrog Jake Ferguson, but this kid was onto something. This kid had hands. He was a receiver, and they played him at tight end. He just unfortunately tore his ACL. But my two that I'm really eager to see is our two rookies, BB and Tyler Guy. I say that because we know Tyler Guy in the transition from right tackle to left tackle. That is a huge task for an individual to move from one side to the other side. People say, "Oh, it's no big deal." Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But not only that, but it's a big deal for a guard to come in and play center. That's not easy. Everything is not going to be under center and just snap them. There's too many things you got to do. You got to consider reading the defense, getting the ball to your quarterback, and you have to make the block. So, this is just two of the players that I'm definitely going to be watching and see how they transition to these new positions. And even if BB doesn't start at the center position, fine. But I'm more concerned with Tyler Guyton at the left tackle position, if that makes sense. I really hope he can come in and hold that position down, So,
fella.
So we have to see what happens. But hey, guys, I'm not gonna hold you. We've been on here about an hour and 30 minutes, man, and it's been great. But I know these folks are probably trying to eat or whatever the case may be. But again, guys, thank each and every one of y'all for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You guys, y'all great content.
Nice meeting you guys.
Love it.
Cowboy Corner.
Cowboy Corner.
We're going to keep this thing going. And like I always say, don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. So let's make it happen. Dallas Cowboys. Deuces.